Welcome to the third and final installment of our series on how to set up book pre-order campaigns. In our first installment, we used ConvertKit to set up an automation that would allow us to plan out our book launch communications. And in the second installment, we used Typeform to collect the names and email addresses of people who pre-ordered our book. In this installment, we're going to use Zapier to connect these two tools, ConvertKit and Typeform, together. First, I want to show you Zapier. Zapier is an incredibly useful tool that acts as a bridge between services. It allows you to take information that was entered into one service, so for us that's going to be our Typeform form, and transfer that information into a second service. And for us that is going to be ConvertKit. You can see on the homepage here some examples of how Zapier can connect different programs together. The first thing you should do is sign up for an account. Before we get started with Zapier, I want to show you the pricing plans because this is going to be important when you start to run your pre-order campaign. In looking at the plans, you can see that there is a free account, and that's what I am currently on here. The important thing that you need to take a look at are the tasks. Each time somebody fills out your Typeform, that's going to initiate a task. So you need to make sure that you have enough tasks for the number of people that are going to want to fill out your form. Unless you have a very small email list and a very small audience, the free account is probably not going to be enough for you leading up to your book launch. The good thing about Zapier is that it allows you to upgrade for a few months and then downgrade back to the free plan when you're done with your heavy period of use. So for the couple of months leading up to your book launch, you may need to upgrade to the professional or maybe even the professional plus plan, but then when your book launch has passed, you can downgrade back to the free account. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do in Zapier to get started is we need to connect our accounts. We need to connect Typeform and we need to connect ConvertKit. So click on Connected Accounts. And in this search bar here, just start typing in the word Typeform. And as soon as you see it on the list, click on it. That's going to open up this new window and it's going to ask for our API key. You'll find this API key back in your Typeform account. So go back into Typeform and click on your profile picture in the upper right and select My Account. You'll see that your API key is listed on this page. Just scroll down here, copy that, paste it into that other window, and click Yes, Continue. There will be a short pause while the connection completes, and then that window is going to close. Return to the main browser window and in the search bar here, enter ConvertKit and click on that. This is going to open up another window just like the first one, but for ConvertKit, it's going to ask for two items, your API key and your API secret. You'll find both of these under Account Settings. So go back to ConvertKit and again, click on your profile picture in the upper right and choose Account Settings. On this page, you'll see your API key. You'll copy that and paste it in on that other window. And then you'll also need your API secret. Just click Show to see your API secret. Copy that and paste it into the other window. And then click Yes, Continue. There'll be a short pause and then that window will close. So now when we go back to Zapier, we will see that both Typeform and ConvertKit are on our list of connected accounts. Okay, so now we're ready to create our Zap. We'll click on Zaps here. And I like to organize things in folders just because as you start to use Zapier more, you will get more and more Zaps. So I'm going to make a folder. And then once I've made my folder, click on Make a New Zap. This takes us to the Zap Builder. The first thing that Zapier wants us to do is choose a trigger app. And so we can see our apps listed below in the search bar. The thing that we want to have happen is that when somebody fills in information into Typeform, that information gets sent to ConvertKit. So our trigger is when somebody fills in information into Typeform. So click on Typeform. For Typeform, we only have one trigger type, and that's New Entry. Click Save and Continue. Next, Zapier asks us to select our account. It is possible to connect more than one Typeform account into Zapier. If you've got only one account connected, it's already selected. Just hit save and continue. And now Zapier is going to ask us to select the Typeform that will trigger the app. So we're going to click on the button on the right, and it shows us all of the forms in our Typeform account. Click on Book Pre-Order Form, and then click Continue. On this screen, what Typeform is telling us is that we need to have at least one entry into the form. If you haven't tested your Typeform yet, go and test it now. Go and fill out the whole form and submit your entry to the form. After you've got at least one entry in your form, then you can click Fetch and Continue. What Typeform is doing here is verifying that it can access the entry. Once it's verified, the bar turns green and we have test successful. If for any reason you don't get that test successful notification, you want to check first to make sure you have the correct Typeform account connected. Once you've verified that, then just walk through these steps again. Make sure that you've connected the right Typeform. And then finally, you just need to verify that you have submitted at least one form entry before you click this button. So you've got the test successful notification, click continue, and the trigger portion of the Zap is set up. The next thing we're going to do is set up the action. On the screen, you see it says choose an action app. And this is the thing that is going to receive the information, and that is ConvertKit. So once we've selected ConvertKit, we've got three different options here. We are going to choose add a subscriber to a tag because that's what our automation is running off of. Our automation at a certain point in the flow is asking, does the subscriber have the book pre-order list tag or do they not have the tag? So we want to add that tag into our subscribers. Next, Zapier asks us to select our account. We only have one account hooked up, so we'll hit save and continue. And now this is where we set up what happens when the Typeform runs. The first thing we're going to do here is assign the correct tag. So when you click on this drop-down list, it's going to show you all of your ConvertKit tags. If you haven't created the tag that you need yet, which you already have because you have your automation set up, but if you were in a case where you hadn't created your tag, go back to ConvertKit, create that tag, then come back here and the button at the bottom that says refresh fields, click on that button and it will refresh your ConvertKit connection. So from this list here, we are going to choose book pre-order list because that's the tag we want to add. Next, we're going to click the button next to email here, and we're looking for the question that is collecting the email address. So the question, what is your email address? We'll click on that. And then click the button next to first name and do the same thing. Look for the question that's asking, what is your first name? Click on that. And then click continue. Now Zapier is asking us, do you want to send a test to ConvertKit? I want to send a test. This is going to trigger actions. So I just need to make sure I'm okay with that happening. And the test that's going through is my email account. So I'm totally okay with applying that tag. And a user isn't going to know that a tag has been applied to them. So that's an okay test to run. I'm going to click send test to ConvertKit. And now Zapier is going to tell us that our test was set successfully. We'll click finish. And now all I have to do is name my Zap. So I am going to name my Zap book pre-orders. I'm going to add it to the blog post examples folder that I created before. And then I'll click the switch to turn the Zap on. Now we're all done. It is a good idea to verify that the test works. So we will just quickly go over to ConvertKit and look up the user that was being tested. That was my email address. So we'll look that up and just make sure. And look, there is the book pre-order tag. Good luck with your book pre-order campaigns. Let us know how they go. And be sure to go to winningedits.com for more tips, advice, and resources for authors.